To understand the magnitude of Dijon's 2025, you have to appreciate the slow burn that preceded it. Born in Washington in 1992 to a Guamanian father and a mother of black, white, and Native American descent, Dijon's early life was a whirlwind of military relocations and musical discovery. He cut his teeth as one half of the duo Abi Dijon, then struck out solo, releasing a string of singles and EPs that made him a darling of the indie and R&B underground. His 2021 debut album, Absolutely, was a critical darling, a lo-fi patchwork of soul and Americana that landed him on Barack Obama's summer playlist and on stage with Bon Iver. But even as his reputation grew, Dijon seemed content to operate just outside the glare of the mainstream. He collaborated with the likes of Charlie XCX, Matt Champion, and McGee, contributed to Bon Iver's Sable Fable album, and quietly became the secret sauce in other artists' best work. By the time 2025 rolled around, Dijon was poised for something bigger. Not a reinvention, but a revelation. On August 8th, 2025, Dijon did what only the truly confident or maybe truly chaotic do. He announced his new album, Baby, with a 1-week countdown and a caveat of, unless the samples don't get cleared, quote, "The samples cleared, the world exhaled, and on August 15th, Baby arrived. No singles, no drip feed of teasers, just a 12-track, 37-minute opus that felt like a love letter to his new family, his collaborators, and the messy, beautiful business of becoming someone new." The album cover was clear and said it all. It was a candid photo from Dijon's wedding to stylist Joni Del Santo, with their son, the titular Baby, in row. If Absolutely was the sound of a young artist searching for himself, Baby was the sound of a man who'd found his people and wanted to shout it out from the rooftops, or at least from the living room, with the mics picking up every stomp, sigh, and giggle. Critics scrambled to describe Baby's sound, and who could blame them? Here was an album that opened with the track Baby, a track that starts as a lullaby and ends as a Prince-inspired fever dream, and then careened through glitchy gospel track Higher, 80s tinged pop Yamaha, and lo-fi folk balladry in Kind of Love. Dijon's voice was everywhere, crooning, howling, chopped, and stacked into a collage of emotion. The production was a glorious mess. Samples dropped in and out, beats stuttered and flipped, and the whole thing felt like it was being performed live in your kitchen, with the band spilling out of the pantry. Pace magazine called it meteoric proof that his debut was star-making and his sound will command R&B's next destiny, without leaving any of its ancestry behind. Pitchfork, which named Dijon its Artist of the Year and devoted a print zine to his 2025 breakout, described Baby as a spectacular new vision of soul, pop, and R&B, drawing parallels to Frank Ocean, D'Angelo, Bon Iver, and Prince. Rolling Stone declared it as nothing short of a triumph, while The New Yorker marveled at its fiery mania and analog warmth. But perhaps the best description came from Dijon himself. In an interview with Zane Lowe, he said, "I'm rife with contradictory ideas. I don't know when a record is done, but I know when something isn't good. It's psychological. You just know when something is wrong." The critical response to Baby was, in a word, rapturous. On Metacritic, the album scored a 94, indicating universal acclaim. A rare feat in an era where critics are more likely to hedge their bets than hand out perfect scores. Paste gave it a 10 out of 10, NME called it a bold, restless comeback, and Pitchfork awarded it a 9.0, placing it near the top of its year-end list. Vulture named it the best album of 2025, and Complex slotted it comfortably among the year's best, sandwiched between Olivia Dean and Karol G. But the real magic was in the way Baby seemed to resonate with everyone, From die-hard R&B heads to indie rockers, from new parents to critics who'd spend years waiting for an album that felt this alive. As one reviewer put it, to listen to Baby is to embrace the inelegance and dissonance of life. Most of the album leans into the abstract, and it's constantly moving along a spectrum of love, rather than avoid what seems wrong. Dijon pursues it and ends up with songs that sound incredibly right. If Baby was Dijon's personal statement, his work on Justin Bieber's Swag and Swag 2 was his coming out party as a mainstream hitmaker. In July of 2025, Bieber surprise released Swag, a sprawling, lo-fi R&B record that owed much of its sound to Dijon and his frequent collaborator Michael Gordon, also known as McGee. Dijon co-wrote and produced 4 tracks, including the smash hit Daisies, which debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and also the soulful Devotion and the genre-blurring Yukon. Critics and fans alike noted the Dijon effect, the way Bieber's music suddenly sounded more intimate, more experimental, and more alive. As Magazine Box magazine put it, Swag is Bieber's take on Dijon's indie R&B coalesced, with his adept pop sensibilities making for one of Bieber's most complete albums to date. CBC Music even dubbed 2025 the year of the Dad album, noting how both Bieber and Dijon used their new roles as fathers to explore themes of love, vulnerability, and domesticity in their music. When Swag 2 dropped just 2 months later, Dijon's fingerprints were all over it again, writing, producing, and shaping the sound of a pop superstar in real time. The result was Grammy nominations for both Producer of the Year, Non-Classical, and the Album of the Year, cementing Dijon's status as the secret weapon behind some of the year's biggest hits. But Dijon's collaborative streak didn't stop with Bieber. In April, he appeared as a featured artist on Bon Iver's Sable Fable, co-producing the standout track Day One alongside McGee and Flock of Dimes. The song's off-kilter cadence, a happy accident in Pro Tools, according to Dijon, became a fan favorite and a testament to his willingness to embrace the beauty of human error. He also contributed heavily to McGee's 2-Star and the Dream Police, Matt Champion's Mika's Laundry, and a host of other projects, earning a reputation as the go-to producer for artists looking to push the boundaries of genre and sound. As one critic noted, Dijon's catalog of inspiration expands extensively across time, genre, and style. His music has been described as existing in a liminal space, characterized by out-of-tune pianos, demo-like records, 80s nostalgia, and a simultaneous pop sensibility and inadvertent pop subversion. If there was any doubt that 2025 was Dijon's year, the Grammy nominations put it to rest. On November 7th, the Recording Academy announced that Dijon was up for 2 of the night's biggest honors, Producer of the Year, Non-Classical, and Album of the Year for his work on Justin Bieber's Swag. It was his first time in the running, and he found himself rarefied company alongside Dan Auerbach, Circuit, Blake Mills, and Soundwave. This nomination for Producer of the Year was especially sweet, a recognition not just of Dijon's own album, but of his transformative impact on the sound of 2025. As Billboard put it, Dijon crafts intimate, textural R&B that feels immediate and deeply personal, a producer guided not by spectacle, but by feeling. The Grammy nods were more than just industry validation. They were a signal that Dijon's approach to music making had become the new gold standard. Fellow nominees praised his communal and cool style, while critics marveled at his ability to thread the line between pop maximalism and intimate experimentation. In interviews, Dijon was quick to deflect credit, but make no mistake, 2025 was the year Dijon stopped being the secret ingredient and became the main course. With Baby out into the world, and the critical acclaim rolling in, Dijon hit the road for his most ambitious tour yet, a headlining run across North America and Europe that sold out venues from San Diego to Paris. The shows were less concerts than communal experiences, with Dijon and his band including Bon Iver's Justin Vernon, McGee, and Nick Hakim, tuning each stage into a living room jam session. At Terminal 5 in New York, fans were treated to a masterclass in genre-bending performance, slow burn renditions of old favorites, fiery takes on new tracks like Another Baby and Yamaha, and surprise guest appearances that sent the crowd into a frenzy. As one reviewer put it, the special thing about hearing Dijon live is the dramatic difference between listening to studio recordings. In concert, you can hear even more of the fervor in Dijon's voice, and can see it in his face, grimaces in every note. Heavy synth and sample work define his sound in person, allowing moments to hit harder on tracks like Automatic, more than they ever could on streaming. The tour setlist was a testament to Dijon's range, spanning his entire discography and showcasing the revolution from bedroom soul to full-blown experimental pop. Fans danced, cried, and stuck around for encores that felt more like family reunions than rock shows. Dijon's live prowess wasn't confined to his own tour. At Coachella 2025, he delivered a performance that left the crowd in awe, with emotional setlist choices and crowd reactions that quickly went viral on social media. Clips of the fans singing along to Yamaha and Kinda Love circulated online, cementing his reputation as one of the year's must-see acts. But perhaps the crowning moment of Dijon's live year came on December 6, when he made his debut as the musical guest on Saturday Night Live, backed by a 12-person band that included Bon Iver's Justin Vernon, Amber Kaufman, and Nick Hakim. Dijon delivered electrifying performances of Higher and a medley of Baby and Another Baby. After the show, Dijon took to Instagram to celebrate. Tour has been gorgeous, and we just got to rock on live TV SNL style. For those out there in the wild, grateful, true, and couldn't do it without the most divine squad ever. Grateful and buzzing, and everyone who has bought a ticket is a light. The SNL appearance was more than just a TV gig. It was a signal that Dijon had arrived, not just as a critical darling, but as a bona fide star. If conquering the music world weren't enough, Dijon made his acting debut in one of the year's most acclaimed films, Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. Cast as Talleyrand, a member of the revolutionary group the French 75, Dijon shared the screen with heavyweights like Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and Tiana Taylor. The film's success only added to Dijon's mystique, a musician who could hold his own alongside Oscar winners and who seemed as comfortable on a film set as he was in the studio. In a year where music criticism often felt like a lost art, Dijon became an unlikely champion for its revival. In interviews with Pitchfork and Complex, he argued that critics needed to go harder, to be less kind and more incisive in their reviews. In my opinion, this wasn't just bravado. It was a reflection of Dijon's own approach to music making, precise, intentional, and unafraid of failure. As he told Pitchfork, "I wanted my music to be positively embarrassing to play in public. I refused for my music to be viable as a background thing. I wanted initially for the volumes to fluctuate pretty intensely so that you would have to constantly turn it up or turn it down." By year's end, it was clear that Dijon's influence had spread far beyond his own records. Artists across genres cited him as an inspiration, and his production style, being intimate, textural, and unpredictable, became the new benchmark for authenticity in pop and R&B. As one writer put it, Dijon's presence will only continue to grow, making him the quintessential representative of contemporary pop production, stating his claim as your favorite artist's favorite artist. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Dijon's 2025 was the way he turned a cult following into a genuine community. Fans didn't just listen to his music, they lived in it, sharing stories of how Baby soundtracked their own journeys through love, parenthood, and self-discovery. Social media lit up with covers, remixes, and heartfelt testimonials, and Dijon responded in kind, engaging with fans and collaborators in like of a spirit of a mutual admiration. At the heart of Dijon's 2025 was his relationship with Joni Del Santo, his wife, muse, and creative collaborator. Their love story, chronicled in songs, interviews, and album art, became a touchstone for fans and critics alike. As Dijon put it, "I used to want to do everything by myself, but over the course of the pandemic, I accepted that there are limitations. It opened up this idea that other people can provide pieces of your world." Joni's influences extended beyond inspiration. She shaped the visual and aesthetic elements of Dijon's work, bringing a sense of cohesion and authenticity to every project. Together, they embodied the idea that art and life are not separate pursuits, but intertwined journeys. If Baby had a central theme, it was the transformative power of fatherhood. Dijon's songs grappled with joys and anxieties and responsibilities of raising a child, and his interviews reflected a newfound sense of purpose and perspective. As he sang on Baby, "If I could take your pain, you know I would." This embrace of domesticity was in its own way a radical act, a rejection of the myth the great art must come with great solitude and chaos. For Dijon, love and family became the wellspring of creativity, and the world was the better for it. As 2025 drew to a close, it was clear that Dijon had not just had a great year, he had changed the game. He proved that you could make music that was experimental and accessible, intimate, universal and messy, and also magnificent. He showed that collaboration, vulnerability, and a willingness to embrace imperfection could be the keys to both critical and commercial success. But perhaps the most important part, Dijon reminded us that the best art doesn't just reflect the world, it creates new possibilities for how we might live, love, and listen. In a year defined by uncertainty and upheaval, Dijon's music was a beacon of hope, a reminder that beauty can be found in the noise, and that sometimes the most radical thing you can do is open your heart and let the world in. So, here's to Dijon's 2025, the reluctant meteor, the genre bender, the family man, the artist who made 2025 his own. If you missed it, don't worry. The afterglow is just getting started. Thank you for watching.